हेलो गाइस। तो हम लोग आज सर्कल्स देख चुके हैं। सर्कल्स का इंट्रोडक्शन, सर्कल्स क्या होता है। तो हम लोग देखते हैं कि मार्क्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या है। जैसे कि सारे चैप्टर्स का फिक्स मार्क्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, उसमें ज्योमेट्री का कितना मार्क्स है? 28 मार्क्स। 28 मार्क्स है ज्योमेट्री का। उस 28 मार्क्स में से सर्कल्स के 8 to 10 मार्क्स रहेंगे इन योर एग्जामिनेशन। सो टू प्रिपेयर दिस फॉर दिस 10 मार्क्स वी स्टार्टिंग द सर्कल्स। तो सर्कल्स में पढ़ना क्या है? पहले आपको सर्कल का डेफिनेशन जो आपने देख लिया है, और रेडियस, ठीक है। और भी कंसेप्ट हैं सर्कल से, जैसे सर्कमफ्रेंस, डायमीटर, कॉर्ड, आर्क, सीकेंट, सेक्टर, सेगमेंट और सबटेंडेड एंगल। ये सारे कंसेप्ट हैं। उसके बाद थ्योरम्स हैं। तो इक्वल कॉर्ड्स ऑफ अ सर्कल सबटेंड इक्वल एंगल्स एट सेंटर एंड उसका कन्वर्स। तो देयर मेनी थ्योरम्स। Most important of it is this, which can directly come in an exam of 4 marks. It is the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. So this question can come, right? And angles in the same segment are equal, okay. And if a line segment joining 2 points subtend equal angle at any 2 points lying on the same side, and the 4 points lying in the circle, or to prove that the 4 points are concyclic. This is also a theorem. And also cyclic quadrilateral, the sum of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 and its converse. So all these theorems we have to see, and we will see one by one. But first, let's get back to the definition of circle and related concepts. Okay. So what is a circle? A circle is set of all points in a plane that are at a given distance from a given point. Obviously, the given point is called the center and the given distance is called the radius. This radius is the fixed distance and this center is the fixed point, right? What we saw is कि the point is fixed and then a point is moved such that the distance of the moving point, this is the moving point, right? Once again I will show you. See, the point is moving but the distance of the moving point from the fixed point or the center is the same, right? So the fixed point is called the center and the fixed distance is called the radius. All these points that you are seeing here is the path followed by this point. See, it's the path, right? So that's what we are talking about. So this is the fixed distance and we have the fixed point and this is the moving point. ठीक है। तो ये जो मूविंग पॉइंट है, जितने भी पॉइंट्स एक प्लेन में वो क्रॉस करेगा या उसका जो पाथ ट्रेस करेंगे हम लोग, सच दैट कि वो एक फिक्स्ड पॉइंट से इक्वल डिस्टेंस पे हो, तो वो क्या होगा? रेडियस कहलाएगा। तो अगर हमको देखना हो तो ये डिस्टेंस भी क्या होगा? मेरा रेडियस। ये डिस्टेंस भी क्या होगा? रेडियस। ये डिस्टेंस भी क्या होगा? रेडियस। ये डिस्टेंस भी क्या होगा? यहाँ तक रेडियस। ठीक है। सेंटर से लेके जो पाथ फॉलो हुआ है उसके ऊपर कोई भी पॉइंट लेंगे तो उसका डिस्टेंस क्या होगा? रेडियस। ठीक है। लेट्स मूव ऑन। नाउ हाउ टू लोकेट अ पॉइंट अराउंड अ सर्कल। सी, वी नो, चलिए इस पॉइंट को मान लेते हैं कि ये है पॉइंट पी ए। पी तो हमारा सेंटर है, तो ये पॉइंट को मान लेते हैं ए। नाउ इफ वी मेजर द रेडियस, रेडियस इज व्हाट? रेडियस इज इक्वल टू AP, right? Now if something happens, like if any point is over here, right, and if we try to join it by the center P, right, and this point is B, so obviously we can see the length of the BP is greater than AP. So B lies outside the circle. B lies outside the circle. Similarly, if any point C is over here and we measure the distance PC, PC is obviously less than PA. So this shows that C lies inside the circle, inside the circle, right? Okay. So all the points, this point also, let it be D. This is less than PA, so this will lie inside the circle. This point is also PE. This is less than the radius, so it will lie inside the circle, right? So if any point lies on the boundary of the circle, on the boundary of the circle, so its distance from the center will be same as that of the radius, right? If the distance of this point from the radius from the center is the same as that of radius, like PF is equal to PA, this means that F point lies on the circle, right? So that's what a circle divides a plane into three parts. How many parts? Three parts. First is exterior of the circle, second is interior of the circle, and the third is on the circle, points on the circle. Is that clear? So the plane is divided into three parts. One is exterior. This whole area will have distance from the center greater than the radius. Okay, but any point inside the circle, this whole area, anywhere, will have less, right? Will have less. So, and if all the points are here, so it will be equal to the radius, right? So these are necessary conditions. 1, 2, 3, right? So that's what, right? Let's move. Now the features of the circle. Now imagine it is a fixed point. Now you have drawn this line over here. This point was moving, right? This point was moving and this point was called moving point. This was the fixed distance. Now because whatever distance it can travel, it will travel along this path. If the distance is fixed and the point is also fixed, so ये जो पूरा रास्ता, the whole path, it will cover. It will have some length, right? The length of the path covered by the moving point, such that the distance of the moving point from a fixed point is also fixed. The length of the path is called the circumference of the circle, right? So the length of the boundary of the circle, you can call it as the circumference of the circle. This is what circumference is. You must have read about perimeter, right? So perimeter is for any figure the length of all the sides, but in the case of a circle, it is called as circumference. Or you can say the length of the path covered by the moving point, or just the length of the circle in a whole. If you cut it from here, to cut it the circle from here, you will get a straight, right? Straight line. This straight line will have a length of 2 pi r, where r is obviously the radius, right? This is what is circumference of the circle. Okay, let's move on. Now we have already seen what is radius. The line segment, yes, the segment has a starting point and also an end point. So this is called the radius. Why? Because O is the starting point and A is the ending point, and this is the radius of the circle. O is what? O is center. So line segment should start from the center and end at any point on the circle. Again I am saying on the circle, right? On the circle. On. Okay, so OA is the radius and the radii is the plural of radius. Now what is a chord? You can see C is also a point on the circle, D is also a point on the circle. If I join both these points by a line segment, then this CD will be called a chord of the circle. This CD will be called a chord of the circle. This is what chord is. You can join any 2 points on the circle. This is, let this be E, let this be F, right? Join both of them. What will get? We'll get a chord. But the only condition that is required is there should be it should be a segment, and both the points should lie on the circle, should not lie anywhere else. They should lie on the circle, right? So this is what is a chord. Now as you saw ki CD is a chord, now CD divides the circle into two parts. You can see this is one part, right? And this is the another part. I should paint it with another color. Okay, this is another part. The area or the region, right? The area or the region bounded by the arc or the boundary of the circle and one chord is termed as the segment of the circle. Clear? And as you can clearly see, this is the smaller area is called the minor segment. It is called minor segment, and the larger area is called the major segment. Clear? So segment refers to the area or the region enclosed between a chord and the arc, right? C and D were the points on the circle, so obviously this region or this area is called the segment of the circle, right? So any chord will divide a circle into two parts, right? One will be the major segment and one will be the minor segment. But what is diameter? Now diameter is also a line segment. Firstly, it is also a chord, a line segment that joins any 2 points on the circle. So A point is on the circle and B point is also on the circle. If I joined A and B, then what I get? I get a chord because both the points are on the circle, right? But what's the speciality that is called a diameter? The speciality that this chord has is that it is passing through the center of the circle. If it is not passing through the center like this one, CD, then it is called just a chord. But it is also a chord, but it has got a special name called diameter. Why? Because it is passing through the center of the circle, and as you can see, O is the center. So OA will be what? Radius, and OB will be what? Radius. So R plus R equal to 2R. So length of the diameter or length of the diameter chord is 2R, 2 times of the radius, right? So diameter is the longest chord in the circle. No chord in the circle can be longer than the diameter. Diameter is the longest chord in the circle. Clear? Next, arc. What is an arc? Any part of the circle. Any part of the circle. Now here, you can see ADB is a part of a circle. ADB. I'm only talking about ADB. This part. Right? So this is a part of circle, and ADB is somewhat like this. ADB. This is a part of circle and it is called an arc. Similarly, this is also a part of the circle. Any part, right? ACB, right? So it is also an arc. Now which arc is bigger? Obviously ACB is bigger arc. It is called as major arc. It is called as major arc. And this is smaller one of the two. This is called the minor arc. Clear? This is called the minor arc. Now how do we represent arcs? We represent arc like this. A, D, B, and just a symbol like this. A, C, B, and the symbol like this. Obviously we know this is a minor arc and this is a major arc. Is it clear? Shall we move on? Okay. What is a central angle? Right? So as you can see, we saw that this is an arc. Right? This is an arc. So every arc will subtend an angle at the center, because the arc started from point A, the arc has one end point B. To take it like that, then radius can be drawn from O to A. This is the radius and this is the radius, right? So there will be angle between the two radii. This angle theta is called the central angle, right? Also a word used for it is that angle subtended by the arc AB at the center. Angle subtended by the arc AB at the center of circle, right? You can also say this, right? So this is what is the central angle. This is the O is the center, right? So any angle, the angle here was subtended by this arc. Which arc? AB arc, right? Now this is the minor arc, as you know. So this subtends angle theta. What angle would be subtended by the arc ADB at the center? Obviously this one. And the relation between these two will be, if this is theta, then this is 360 minus theta. Is it clear? So arc angle subtended by arc ADB is 360 minus theta, and arc ACB is theta at the center, right? This is what is the central angle. Central angle is the angle subtended by the arc such that is its vertex or the angle is formed at the center, right? Now what is a sector, right? We've seen arc, we have seen the two radii. Now this is the arc, right? This is the arc we're talking about. This is radii, this is radii. The region which is bounded here between the two radii, the region which is bounded here between the two radii and the arc, the region I am talking about. Central angle was the angle. This is the region, the whole region. This region will be called as sector. And what sector? Firstly, this will be called as minor sector, right? Because this is also an arc and it also has some area bounded between the radii and the arc. This area I am talking about, this area. And this is what? This is major sector. This is what? This is major sector, right? The sector is a region contained by two radii and an arc. This is minor sector and this is major sector. Is it clear? The meaning of sector? Sector refers to the region. Segment also refers to the region. But segment is the region bounded between the chord and the arc. But sector is the region bounded between the radii, by the two radii and the arc, right? Now what is a tangent? What is a tangent? Tangent is a line. It's not a line segment, it's just a line, right? So we'll show like this. It has no endpoint. Okay? It is a line that intersects the circle at exactly one point, or you can say touches the circle at exactly one point, and this point is C, and the line will be called tangent, right? Now what is secant? Now in secant also you can see the C point is lying on the circle and D point is lying on the circle. Secant refers to a line. Segment was a line segment which was joining any 2 points on the circle. But secant is what? Secant is a line that is joining any 2 points on the circle, and exactly 2 points. It cannot cut more than 2 points. So this is called as secant, right? Secant is a line that intersects the circle at exactly 2 points. Now let's get back. We have learnt all the terminology. Let's get back to some quiz. Now you try to answer on your own. The longest chord of a circle is diameter, right? Longest chord of a circle is diameter. Radius is, and diameter is equal to twice of radius. So obviously this is equal to R, and segment is not a chord. Segment refers to an area. So obviously diameter is the correct answer. The distance between center and a point on a circle is called radius. This is your circle, this is your center O, and this is a point on the circle. This is called the radius, right? Next, the part of a circle connecting 2 points of the circle is the part of a circle connecting 2 points of the circle is the, think, central angle, sector, or arc. What is central angle? See, this is the circle, right? And the angle subtended by this at the center is O. This angle is theta, right? Now next, sector. What is sector? Sector refers to this area, right? What is an arc? Arc is any part of the circle. This can be arc, right? So obviously arc will be the correct answer, right? Any 2 points of the circle, right? Part of a circle, it's saying part of a circle. Theta is the angle, sector is the area, right? We have completed the terminology. Now we'll learn more theorems in the next lesson. Thank you till then. Bye bye.